Hello. We're back with a little more EU4. We passed some time between the last episode and now, mostly because we had a budding coalition forming here in northern Italy, but that is, for the most part, past. So we've begun fabricating claims on Milan here, because the last thing we need, to form an Italian nation is Genoa and Milan. So Milano and Genova, which we don't have claims on either. We do have a permanent claim on Parma, so we could declare war on them at any time, but I'm going to fabricate at least a claim on Genova and probably Pavia or Cremona to give us a better path to taking both of these possibly in one war. But also we've been working on our colonization. Alright? We've continued our path of colonizing in the Ivory Coast. We've currently just got one colony going there. And colonizing around, going around the Horn since the English beat us to it. We colonized these islands here, made our way to Diego Garcia, and are now plopping ourselves into Indonesia and the Spice Islands and all that. And then also we sent our other colonist to Brazil. We're going to Brazil, boys. So we've diversified our colonial ventures and moved most of our armies to, well, kept most of our armies in Italy because we are going to be fighting another Italian war quite soon. We're just going to be fabricating those claims, dealing with the last little bit of unrest here. Continuing our culture conversions and such. Trying to stay ahead in tech and building up to this next Italian war. So we're going to kind of just let these things build up, let our colonies finish, continue expanding and all that, and then once we have our claims on Milan, the Italian wars must continue. We must have a unified Italy. So we'll be back when something interesting happens or when we're ready for that. Oh, and I almost forgot, it being now December of 1499. We're about to have the turn of the century, with Naples being the great power of Europe. And lo and behold, January of 1500, the birth of colonialism, and we finished our colony in Diego Garcia. And I think the Cocos Islands might be the next stopping off point here, or maybe Christmas Island. Let's go with Christmas Island. We want to snatch up a lot of these islands. I don't know if we'll end up colonizing Australia, just because it's not the most particularly valuable land. But definitely I would like to get enough of a foothold here in like the Spice Islands and all that that we could eventually, push in and conquer a lot of Indonesia and all that here for the valuable trade goods. And then once we've got a colonial nation up and running here in the Ivory Coast, I think we may bust around here and form a colony here in colonial Zambezi so that we can compete with the English in South Africa and maybe eventually take control of South Africa from them. Go ahead and make sure that's cored, and that means we actually have a little more range for our explorer. to go exploring. I like how I say, you know, oh, well, until something interesting happens a month in-game later. 1 month in-game later. But we've still got a ways to go on building up that spy network in Milan. So, damn truces. So we will wait until we get there. Alright, it is now 15:04 and we are about ready to kick this off. However, first, we did finish our colony in Caro here in the Ivory Coast and started a colony in the province of Grain Coast. And we actually got an event here to purchase this province of Tapaktuan. And we did go ahead and take it, so we now have this province as well, which will be another good staging point for future invasions here. Don't be fooled by the fact that this is all the same color here. This is Dharmasraya, another country. We'll have to eliminate them for having a similar color, but by the time we get to eliminating them, we'll probably be a different color because we'll be forming Italy. But point being, we're going to declare on Milan to take Genova. Their most powerful ally, Teutonic Order, will not be joining them because they're almost 4,000 ducats in debt. They will be joined by Augsburg, Württemberg, Bregenz, and Padua. We will be joined by Hungary, Byzantium, and Savoy. Oh, nope. We're not ready. We gotta put up the blockade first. Silly me. Gotta put up the blockade first. Then declare war. You silly little guy. What is wrong with you? And immediately my navy engages. Alright, well. Time to invade. Time to move our armies up. Start occupying. Start sneeding. Begin the sneeds. Savoy will come in from the back and siege down Albenga. Alright, there's the war goal. Occupado. Good, hopefully we can make this a short, victorious war in Italy. But we shall see how that goes. They're retreating back to Milano. That's fine, we'll just start occupying everything in the back here. Yeah, we don't need that diplomat in Venice anymore. That was just, they were the last one that was really holding on to wanting to be in a coalition against me, so we're improving relations with them a bit. Yeah, they don't want the smoke. They're just gonna continue retreating. Which, understandable. There's no way they can beat us in pitched battle from both numbers and quality. They will not beat the fully drilled and professionalized troops of Naples. It's not gonna happen. Alright, the siege of Parma is going well. And of course, our general dies during a siege. And then we have a native uprising. Love to see it. This always seems to be how it goes. My generals always die during sieges. But the siege of Parma is over, so we're just gonna do a little switcheroo. So that this general can also die during a siege. Oh, it's my 0 siege general too. Of course, of course. Well, we better recruit another one. Okay, 4441 is decent enough. I'll take it. I will take it. Even with their allies, they do not want. They do not want to face us in open battle. The cowards. The cowards. Oh yes, please come close enough for me to smack you down. Yeah, spooked him. We spooked him, boys. Alright. Siege of Milan progressing, albeit slowly. And the siege of Albenga should be done any day now. Well, the siege of Milan finished first. So we'll go ahead and strike their armies. The ruler of France has died without leaving a direct heir. They will join in a union with Castile unless we contest it. I really don't want to fight frickin' Castile right now. You can have your little union for now. We're a little busy. We're a little busy. Don't worry, we'll make sure that the union falls apart eventually. Plus, it'd be nice to kind of have a rival in Europe that is almost on our level at this point. Who's sieging what? How did you even get here? Oh, whatever. Make sure you're on defensiveness edict. This is exactly what Dalmatia is for. Being a worthy distraction. Probably just absolutely trounce the Milanese armies. Good. Crush them. Crush them, kill them, destroy them. And they're going to retreat right into my other army and get stack wiped. Beautiful. We love to see it. We love to see it. Alright, now. How the hell are we gonna get to Württemberg? We can actually get to Württemberg. Brilliant. Beautiful. Alright, that's pretty much all of our exploration done for now, at least until we get a little more colonial range. So we're already 56%, we got quite a bit of ticking war score we can get, and we're going to just start smacking these guys out of this war, rather. We're going to heavily encourage these German miners to get the hell out of my Italian war. That is the plan. Which Hungary, which I keep forgetting it exists, is still our junior partner and still helping us out quite a bit here. Now, our colony in Brazil is actually a gold mine, so that is incredibly good. We're going to continue developing that as well. But once this is actually a colonial nation, we'll probably colonize this one more province for them, and then we'll hold on to this one for a while while we go and start the colony probably over here. We gotta compete over Southern Africa as well, or it's just not gonna be a good time. Peasant Revolt in Sus. In Sus. Alright, well, go forth, my son, and destroy. Good, our friends are actually putting in some work. Very good, very good. Hungary even putting in some work. It's beautiful. Yeah, we'll end up getting some autonomy here from these rebels, but it is what it is. We're still making incredibly good money. We're making over 100 a month right now. Controlling all this trade is really good for your economy or something. What a concept. But the Union of Castile and France is something that will have to be addressed at some point. It will have to be addressed or redressed. One of the two. Ulm is sieged. Victory in Ulm. Yeah, we don't really care what the Pope says about our colonial ventures. Where's the meme when I need it? Then it's like, William, I am rather rather vexed about this Roman Catholic fiasco. And it's like, but we're Orthodox. Oh yes, splendid. I've been seeing that meme a lot lately, with the papal conclave and everything going on. People have been sending that to me and I'm like, damn, true. True. Can't be bothered to really care that much about it. Care about affairs in my own church, not affairs in other churches that much. But anyways, sieging down Stuttgart. Come on, just there we go. Just surrender, silly germs. Says the like half German man. Well, almost half, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look again. But my mother's family came from right about. Be right over here somewhere. Oh, at this point we can pretty much just let our allies fight the rest of this war for us. But I'm imagining that they'll probably be willing to give up what we want at this point. What would the that would be quite a coalition. That, however, is pretty manageable, and that is still both the provinces that we would need, or that we will need, to form Italy. So we'll take that and money and get the hell out of my war. Brilliant. Beautiful. Alright. At this point, we can just keep most of those armies parked there. We'll go ahead and hit that lovely core all button. Set the only two nations really that can even close to compete with me now. The Castile-France Union and Teutonic Order, which actually some of them have been colonizing as well. Teutonic Order is colonizing in Canada. Castile is colonizing in the Caribbean. And Holland, the Dutch of all people, are colonizing like Colombia. And of course we're colonizing Africa and Brazil and Southeast Asia. And England is just in South Africa so far. But colonialism has spawned. We haven't gotten much of the institution yet, because of the fact that we don't have a colonial nation yet. But as soon as we finish this colony right here in Grain Coast, this should spawn a colonial nation here, and then we'll start getting the institution. So I'm not too terribly worried about that. But as soon as we have Genova and Milano cord, we'll be able to form Italy. We're gonna form Italy, boys. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be great. The Southern Risorgimento. Came from the south this time, not the north. And then, of course, once we've formed Italy and everything, that will give us claims on the rest of northern Italy that we can use to, so we can stop having to individually fabricate claims. Alright. Plus, the religious zeal modifiers on these provinces are starting to run out. Like, Siena has what? Oh, Siena actually has quite a ways left. But, Terracina has 2 years left. 6 years for Ancona. Sciorrenza has... It'll be this year, actually a couple months, and we can start converting that. So we're starting to solve these problems. But we're gonna have to deal with this unrest and everything for a while and just sit on it. So once we've begun our next colony here in Brazil, come to Brazil, we will probably be going pause mode for a while I just sit out all this unrest and coring and all that boring garbage. So, as soon as something interesting happens or we have something to report, we'll be back. Alrighty, so we've now cored all of this, and I think we're ready to form an Italian nation. Look at that lovely puke/baby shit green. So let's see, continue the Renaissance we get already, which I'll take it. And we've already finished unify regional economies. But now we've got a whole lot of missions to do. We need to build up our navy. We need to, well, conquer more of Italy, aka basically the rest of Italy. And then we will start getting more claims, more expansion, etc. We're over our general's limit now. Well, I guess that means that our conquistador on our army in Africa is going bye-bye. He's going bye-bye. We still have quite a bit of unrest to deal with. We are dealing with the religious parts of that now. We're immediately bringing that icon back to keep that unrest under control. The icon of the Theotokos. And converting the Protestants and Catholics in Italy. I still think it's hilarious that we had like the Protestant Reformation start in Italy this time. That's kind of cursed, honestly. But something I also discovered is that Castile does not just have France as a junior partner. They've actually got England as a junior partner as well. So that is quite silly. A triple union, a triple monarchy of Castile, France, England is quite silly. I was wondering why England and France weren't killing each other. That's normally like, you know, as that's like cats and dogs fighting, right? And that's how nature intended it, is for the French and the English to be mass murdering each other at every given opportunity. I was like, why is this not happening? Turns out, oh yeah, it's they're all under the same king right now. Little tiny Catalonia was still holding out there. Poor thing, poor creature. Getting absolutely eaten by the Castilian monster. We'll deal with the Castilian monster at some point. But I'm thinking we want to connect our little tip here, alright? Hey, yo, we want to connect Egypt and our Palestinian holdings into one coastline here. So I might just fabricate on that, because we are going to have a lot of this in Italy for a while. So though we've formed the Italian nation, we're not going to we're probably not going to conquer the rest of Italy today. So I think we don't need to be building a spy network in Milan right now. Wait, why does it say? Why? What? Is one of my diplomats bugged out? Apparently he's bugged out. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. But anyways, not that bothered about it. We'll start building a spy network in Mansoura so that we can at least take the provinces of Mansoura, Dumyat, Rashid, and maybe Damanur. Maybe Kahira too, if we're feeling spicy, to give us a united coastline here. All right, we gotta be having some Mare Nostrum here. All right, some Mare Nostrum. We gotta rule the Mediterranean seas. And some other seas probably as well. Now, colonization's progressing as expected. Oh good, we got a different color over here now. We could spend 113 Diplo to culture convert this. I am going to do that. And our colony here is almost done. At which point we'll probably colonize one of these. Probably Sumba here. And just keep spreading these colonies. And then eventually we will start, scooping stuff up over here via conquest of arms. But not quite yet. So we're just going to sit, control our unrest and everything for a while, and prepare for war in the Middle East yet again. And another general decided to take the long sleep. the big sleep. Oh, we can actually build this monument now. Which, prestige decay, advisor costs. Okay, yeah, we're taking that just for the advisor costs, buddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're making lots of money really quickly, so, Genova's busy building a basilica. As soon as that's done, we'll start religiously converting that, and then it'll just be the last couple provinces that are Protestant still that it'll take a few years yet for them to get over their little modifier that makes it basically impossible to convert them back. So we'll be sitting on this unless something interesting happens for a little bit while we prepare for another little foray into Egypt. Alright, we're about ready to kick this off. We brought our transport / galley fleet over here. We've got 2 armies here. Should be more than enough for us to deal with Mansoura, who we now have 3 claims on. If we were to declare now, they'll bring in Aretna, Alexandria, and Padispanids, but we can bring in Byzantium and, of course, Hungary to outnumber them by a massive margin. I think I'm going to make Damanhur the war goal. And let's just kick it off. We'll just really quickly get that Alexandrian army out of the way, and then we'll go occupy the war goal. I don't really care about sieging that at the moment. I care about occupying the war goal first. Which, yeah, they can go sit on my fort while I quickly occupy. Why can you just pass through my fort? Alright, that's typical EU4 right there. I have a fort here, and they just walk right through it. Hey, just go right on through it. The zones of control apparently just don't apply to the AI sometimes. EU4, everybody. That's alright. It's not like we're in any danger of losing this. If anything, it'll just be them giving me a slightly higher annoyance. And that I'm not that concerned about. It's almost like we've got a massive numerical and quality advantage over them or something, and a technological advantage. I do have a technological advantage, right? 54, 54, 54. No, we actually don't. We will soon, because even despite the fact we don't have the institution of colonialism yet, we're almost there on all 3 techs. But we'll just get to occupying. Go ahead and get to occupying. That's way she goes. And I'd like to take more. If it's not too much overextension for us, I'd like to take pretty much most of the Nile Delta in this war. At least Hungary and the Byzantines will handle all the allies of my enemies for me. Alright, Siege of Mansoura is done. That kicks their navy out to get absolutely trounced by me, of course. As is tradition. As is tradition, we absolutely body them. And because we don't really need to be blockading anymore, I can send them into repair with the 1 new galley we captured. Which, hey, that's fine, because even though we're about to get upgrades for all of our galleys and transports when we take the next tech. When we take tech 55. For our mission, we need to be at 90% of our naval force limit, and, well, our naval force limit is crazy high. It is 226, so we've been building a lot of ships to try and get there. We've been building a lot of ships to try and get there, and it's taken a while. I mean, we're building a transport fleet over here because the next colony we go for is probably going to be, like I said, Sumba over here. I'm actually going to park my explorer fleet at Diego Garcia. Because of course this colony's done now. We're building 2 cogs here, 2 cogs here, 2 transports here, 2 transports here, to be able to move them over to Sumba. And though we just got our another colonist, because we finished colonizing Christmas Island, our transports are not ready, so we're going to colonize these islands. Mahi. And that gives our explorer just enough range to go explore some more in the Southeast Pacific. Alright. Let's go ahead and trounce these guys in a battle. I would just like to get their army out of the way. Byzantines come in for the killing blow. Good, good. Hungary should be done sieging Alexandria's single province down here pretty soon. And the Byzantines just occupied Aretna. Yeah, sure, whatever, Alexandria, just get out of my war. I'll come deal with you later. I'm already going to take enough aggressive expansion and everything from taking some of these provinces that I don't have claims on. Let the Byzantines go and finish them off while we occupy. Good. Well, Byzantines and Hungarians. Damn, that's a good admiral we just rolled. Randomly. I'll take it though. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, as the old saying goes. I hate having, like, not an even number of ships in the fleet, but we'll deal with that when the war is over. We'll deal with that when the war's over. Oh, Aretna wants peace, huh? And Byzantium gets a province out of it, so they should be happy campers. They should be quite happy campers. Alright. Should be the last province of theirs that we need to occupy. Good. You can go back to Alexandria. And we can just watch our allies fight the Pataspanids while we collect that lovely, lovely ticking war score and wait for them to be ready to peace out on my terms. Because I want to take a little bit here, because Then I'm gonna want to take the rest of the Sinai from... Oh, man. Oh, man. Alright, we get new cavalry, new artillery. For the cavalry, we've just got Schwarzreiter. And for artillery, we are going to take... Culverin. There's not that much of a difference between the two, honestly, for that level of artillery. Okay, good. The Hungarians and the Byzantines are coming in and actually starting to occupy the Pataspanids a little bit, so we can hopefully convince them that they do not want to fight this war. But when the hell did Ustart join this war? Oh, because they're a vassal of Pataspanids. Or however the hell you say it. Pataspanids. Pataspanids. I don't know. I don't speak Persian Farsi. I wanted to. When I was in the army, I wanted to learn Persian Farsi, but then I got out of the army and, you know, learned other languages instead. Instead, I ended up, you know, touching up on my Spanish and now learning, I'm pretty proficient in Brazilian Portuguese, a little bit of Swedish and German. I've been touching up on my Russian a little bit as well. I just like learning languages, man. A new idea group. I think it's pretty natural for us to take expansion at this point. Expansion ideas would probably be the best choice. So we can continue our colonizing at a higher rate. Because I especially really want to start expanding our colony in Brazil quickly to prevent anyone else from coming in here and taking land. And of course, we really want to get that colonial Zambezi colony started before the English eat up all of it. And of course, we want to continue expanding in Asia and Central Africa as well. So we're going to need more colonists to really just put the hurt on them. Alright? And we're finally seeing some colonization in North America other than the Teutonics in Canada. We are seeing French colonization in, you know, just Eastern America now. We're actually seeing England in the Caribbean as well, which is kind of funny because they're both... And Lubeck and Haiti. Who's in Haiti? Lubeckers are in Haiti. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Lord have mercy on me. This is getting a bit silly. Alright, yeah. I think we'll let them occupy just a little bit more. Oh, now you want a peace deal? No. No, I'm taking more from you, buddy. Duomo di Milano in Milan. Let's see here. Tax modifier, sure. Resistance to Reformation, sure. Other than the local tax modifier, and that doesn't really do a ton for us, so I'm gonna hold off on that monument until we just have a stupid amount of money to throw around. When we got that fuck you money, as I like to put it. 69, nice. Heh. Alright, let's see. Alright, we could get away with taking pretty much everything we want to take in this war right now. And full money and war reps. Nope, no war reps. Alright, well, we'll take it anyways. We'll take it anyways. Start coring. Though we're low on admin power right now, so it'll take us a little bit to get all that admin power to core all of it. But that's fine, that's why we'll be keeping our armies here for the foreseeable near future. Getting some more exploring done. Oh, our emperor is dead. Long live the emperor. We now have Emperor Carlo VIII de Montefeltro. 28 years old. He is sickly, but he's a 336. That'll be something I probably deal with in the off time here, because we are at 45 minutes. That is usually where I've been keeping these. We've made quite a bit of progress here. Finally forming the Italian nation, and then, you know, of course, expanding our colonies quite a decent amount, and taking the, well, most of, there's still this little bastard right here, Tanta, who's allied with Palestine. Well, that'll be an easy war for next time. But for now, I think that is where we're going to leave it off for today. So thank you everybody for coming out. Be sure to leave a like, maybe even a comment, and maybe even subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.